Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we'll be discussing the topic, how to improve your English speaking. Watch the whole video to find out what meaning life holds for each of us. How to improve your English speaking. The skill that can change your life. The invisible wall holding millions of people back. Imagine this for a moment. You meet someone from another country. They smile at you. They start speaking English. You understand some of the words in your head. But when it is your turn to speak, your mind goes blank. Your heart beats faster. Your mouth opens slightly, but no words come out. You know the words. You studied them for years. You passed exams. But when it is time to speak, you freeze. This moment happens to millions of people around the world every day. Not because they are not intelligent, not because they are lazy, but because they were never truly taught how to speak a language. English today is not just a subject in school. It is a global bridge connecting people across cultures, careers, and opportunities. More than 1.5 billion people around the world use English in their daily lives. English is the language of international business, science, and technology, aviation, tourism, entertainment, the internet. If you can speak English confidently, the world suddenly becomes much bigger. You can talk with people from different countries, travel without fear, study abroad, work for international companies, access knowledge from everywhere. But the truth is something many people do not like to admit. Learning English is not about memorizing thousands of words. It is not about perfect grammar. And it is definitely not about getting high scores in exams. Real English ability comes from communication, from using the language, from speaking, listening, thinking, and living with English. Improving your English speaking skills is not a mystery. It is a process, a journey that requires practice, patience, courage, consistency. In this guide, we will explore the real strategies that help people move from silence to confidence, from fear to fluency. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Why speaking English feels so difficult. Before we talk about how to improve your English speaking, we must understand something important. Why do so many learners struggle to speak? Many people study English for 5, 10, or even 15 years in school. Yet when they meet a foreigner, they still feel nervous speaking. The problem is not intelligence. The problem is how languages are usually taught. Most traditional education systems focus on grammar rules, vocabulary lists, reading comprehension, written tests. Students spend years filling in blanks, translating sentences, and memorizing rules. But they rarely practice real conversations. Language learning becomes a theoretical exercise, not a living skill. Imagine trying to learn how to swim by reading books about swimming. You study how to move your arms, how to kick your legs, how to breathe in water, but you never enter the pool. When the day comes and you finally jump into the water, you panic because swimming is a physical skill. You must practice it. Speaking English works exactly the same way. It is not only knowledge, it is a performance skill. Your brain must quickly remember vocabulary, build sentences, pronounce words, listen to responses, react naturally. This process happens in seconds. Without regular speaking practice, your brain cannot build these automatic connections. This is why many learners can understand English but cannot speak it fluently. The solution is not studying more grammar. The solution is active practice. And that begins with the most powerful principle of language learning: consistency. Chapter 2, The Power of Daily Practice. There is a simple truth about language learning that many people underestimate. Small daily practice beats occasional long study sessions. Practicing English for 15 minutes every day is often more effective than studying for 3 hours once a week. Why? Because your brain learns languages through repetition and exposure. Each time you speak English, your brain strengthens neural connections related to vocabulary, recall pronunciation, sentence patterns, listening comprehension. Think of it like building a path through a forest. The first time you walk through the forest, it is difficult. There are trees, bushes, and obstacles everywhere. But each time you walk the same path again, it becomes clearer. Eventually, the path becomes easy to follow. Your brain builds language ability the same way. Every conversation, every sentence, every word spoken clears the path. Daily practice does not need to be complicated. You can practice by speaking to friends, talking with teachers, joining online conversations, recording yourself, speaking, describing your daily activities in English. Even talking to yourself can be powerful. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you can say, "Good morning. Today, I need to go to work. I will drink coffee and check my emails." When you cook, you can describe what you are doing. "I am cutting vegetables. Now I am heating the pan." These simple actions train your brain to think and speak simultaneously. The more often you practice, the more natural English becomes. But speaking is only half of the equation. To speak well, you must also train your ears. Chapter 3, The Hidden Power of Listening. Many people focus only on speaking practice. But there is another skill that is just as important: listening. In fact, listening is often the foundation of good speaking ability. Think about how children learn their first language. Before they say their first word, they spend months listening. They hear conversations between parents, stories, instructions, everyday speech patterns. Their brains absorb these sounds naturally. Slowly, they begin to imitate them. Language learners can benefit from the same process. The more English you hear, the more familiar the language becomes. Listening helps you learn natural pronunciation, sentence rhythm, common expressions, real conversational patterns. When you listen regularly, your brain builds a library of language patterns. Then when you speak, those patterns appear automatically. There are many powerful ways to practice listening. English podcasts. Podcasts allow you to hear natural conversations about many topics. Movies and TV shows. Watching movies helps you understand how English is used in real-life situations. Music. Songs improve pronunciation, rhythm, and vocabulary. Audiobooks. Listening to books read by native speakers exposes you to rich language structures. At first, you may not understand everything. That is completely normal. Do not focus on understanding every single word. Instead, focus on general meaning, tone of voice, pronunciation patterns. Over time, your brain will naturally improve its listening ability. And as your listening improves, your speaking becomes smoother. Because your brain now knows what English should sound like. Chapter 4. Reading for Speaking Power. Many learners underestimate the power of reading when it comes to improving speaking skills. At first glance, reading may seem like a passive activity. You sit quietly, look at words on a page, and move from sentence to sentence. But in reality, reading is one of the most powerful tools for building strong speaking ability. Why? Because reading exposes you to natural language structures. When you read English books, articles, or stories, your brain constantly absorbs patterns. How sentences are built, how ideas are connected, how emotions and thoughts are expressed. Every sentence you read becomes a model that your brain can later use when speaking. Think of reading as filling a large container inside your mind. Every paragraph adds new vocabulary. Every dialogue adds new expressions. Every story adds new ways to communicate ideas. Then, when you speak, your brain simply takes from this container. But not all reading is equally effective. To improve speaking, you should read actively, not passively. Here are several powerful strategies. Read aloud. Reading aloud is one of the best ways to combine reading and speaking practice. When you read aloud, you train pronunciation rhythm, sentence flow, confidence in speaking. Your mouth becomes more familiar with English sounds. Your tongue learns how to move naturally between words. Even if you read for just 10 minutes every day, this practice can dramatically improve your speaking ability. Choose materials that match your level. If a book is too difficult, you will spend most of your time struggling with vocabulary. Instead, choose materials that are slightly challenging but still understandable. These might include short stories, simplified novels, children's books, news articles, blogs, or magazines. The goal is to read smoothly and naturally. Notice how people speak when reading dialogue in stories or novels. Pay attention to how characters talk. You will notice expressions such as, "I guess," "to be honest," "you know what." Actually, these phrases are extremely common in real conversations. By reading them repeatedly, you begin to use them naturally when speaking. Over time, reading becomes a silent teacher that strengthens your ability to express ideas clearly and naturally. Chapter 5. The Courage to Make Mistakes. One of the biggest obstacles to speaking English is fear. Not fear of the language itself, but fear of making mistakes. Many learners worry about saying something incorrectly, using the wrong grammar, pronouncing words badly, being judged by others. Because of this fear, they choose silence instead of practice. But this fear creates a dangerous cycle. You avoid speaking because you are afraid of mistakes. But without speaking, you never improve. And because you never improve, the fear continues. To break this cycle, you must understand an important truth. Mistakes are not enemies of learning. They are the path to learning. Every fluent English speaker today once made thousands of mistakes. Even native speakers make mistakes in their own language. Language is not about perfection. It is about communication. Imagine a child learning to walk. The child falls down many times, but nobody says, "You fell down. You should stop trying." Instead, falling is expected. It is part of the learning process. Speaking English works the same way. Every mistake gives your brain new information. It tells you which words work, which grammar structures are correct, which pronunciations need improvement. Instead of feeling embarrassed, you can treat mistakes as valuable feedback. Here are several ways to develop confidence. Accept imperfection. Fluent speakers do not speak perfectly. They simply speak comfortably. Focus on expressing ideas, not on building perfect sentences. Learn from corrections. When teachers or friends correct your mistakes, see it as help. Corrections show you the correct way to say something. Keep speaking anyway. The most important rule is simple. Speak even when you are unsure. The more you practice speaking without fear, the faster your confidence grows. Courage in communication opens the door to real progress. Chapter 6. Thinking in English. One hidden barrier that slows many learners is thinking in their native language first. Imagine this process. You want to say something in English, but first, your brain creates the sentence in your own language. Then you translate it word by word into English. This process takes time. It creates hesitation. It makes speaking slow and unnatural. Fluent speakers do not translate. They think directly in English. Learning to think in English is a powerful step toward fluency, but it does not happen instantly. It develops gradually. Start with simple observations. Look around your environment and describe what you see. For example, this is a table. The weather is sunny today. I am drinking coffee. These small mental sentences train your brain to associate objects and actions with English words. Narrate your daily life. You can silently describe your actions throughout the day. I am walking to the bus stop. I need to finish my work. I should buy groceries later. This habit gradually builds automatic thinking in English. Ask yourself questions. You can also create short internal conversations. What should I eat today? Where should I go this weekend? What movie do I want to watch? Answer these questions in English. Slowly, your brain becomes more comfortable operating in the language. Over time, English stops feeling like a translation exercise. It becomes a natural tool for thinking. Chapter 7. Expanding vocabulary the smart way. Vocabulary is the building material of language. Without words, communication becomes extremely limited. However, many learners make a common mistake. They try to memorize long vocabulary lists without context. This method rarely leads to lasting improvement. Instead of learning thousands of isolated words, it is far more effective to learn vocabulary through usage. Learn words and phrases. Instead of memorizing single words, learn them as part of phrases. For example, instead of learning the word decision, learn make a decision. Instead of learning mistake, learn make a mistake. These combinations are called collocations. Native speakers use them naturally. Learning them helps your speech sound more natural. Use new words immediately. Whenever you learn a new word, try to use it in several sentences. For example, if you learn the word improve, you might say, I want to improve my English. Practice helps improve pronunciation. Reading improves vocabulary. Using the word repeatedly strengthens memory. Keep a vocabulary notebook. Writing down new words helps reinforce learning. You can organize your notebook with word meaning example sentence. Review these words regularly. But remember, vocabulary grows best when it is used in real communication. Chapter 8: Technology and Modern Language Learning. In the past, learning a language required classrooms, textbooks, and teachers. Today, technology has transformed language learning. With a smartphone and internet connection, you can access countless learning tools. Technology allows learners to practice English anytime and anywhere. Language learning apps. Many apps provide interactive exercises for vocabulary, pronunciation, and conversation practice. These apps often include features such as speech recognition quizzes, daily practice reminders. They help maintain consistency in learning. Online videos and educational channels. Platforms like YouTube offer millions of English learning videos. You can watch pronunciation tutorials, conversation lessons, grammar explanations, real-life interviews. These videos expose learners to different accents and speaking styles. Online courses. Many universities and educators provide online courses. These courses often include structured lessons, assignments, and feedback. Communication platforms. Modern technology also allows you to communicate with people around the world. You can practice speaking through video calls, language exchange platforms, online communities. Technology removes geographical barriers and connects learners with real English speakers. Chapter 9: Cultural Understanding in Communication. Language is not only about words and grammar, it is also deeply connected to culture. Understanding culture improves communication because it helps you understand how language is used in real situations. Different cultures may have different ways of greeting people, expressing politeness, showing respect, sharing opinions. For example, in many English-speaking cultures, people often say, "How are you?" But this question is usually a friendly greeting, not a request for a detailed life story. A simple answer such as, "I'm good, thanks," is common. Learning these cultural habits helps conversations flow more naturally. Cultural understanding also helps avoid misunderstandings. When you understand how people communicate socially, you become more confident in conversations. Language and culture grow together. Chapter 10: The Long Journey to Fluency. Becoming fluent in English is not a quick process. It is a journey that unfolds over time. There will be moments when progress feels slow. There will be days when you feel frustrated. But every small step matters. Every new word learned, every conversation attempted, every mistake corrected. These small efforts accumulate. Gradually, something remarkable happens. The language that once felt difficult becomes familiar. You begin to understand conversations more easily. You speak with greater confidence. You express ideas without hesitation. Fluency does not arrive suddenly. It grows quietly through persistence. The most important qualities for success are patience, consistency, curiosity, courage. If you continue practicing, listening, reading, and speaking, improvement is inevitable. English is not just a subject. It is a tool that opens doors, doors to knowledge, doors to friendships, doors to opportunities around the world. And the journey begins with a simple decision to keep learning, to keep speaking, and to never give up. Easy English Daily. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video to let me know you're ready to take the next step. Share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video that could change your life. Thank you for watching.